Alright, so we are back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing the team building guide for the up-and-coming TEQ TRUNKS' EZA event. Now, the category weakness is Time Travelers, so, you know, this might give a little bit of difficulty to some players. Time Travelers isn't really the best category. I mean, of course, the celebration that's ongoing right now is Future Saga, you know, Time Travelers themed, but still, it's not really the best category. There are some units on there that are very good, but if you don't have them, this can give you some trouble. So, obviously, we're going to be doing the team building guide, going into detail about the leads you should bring, the units you should bring, and just the best team you should bring overall. So first off, I do want to go over the event itself a little. Now, you don't want to bring any superclass units, because starting from the 4th stage, the enemy is going to get 60% damage reduction against superclass units. And then all the way to the 19th stage, or I guess the 20th stage, then the enemy is going to get 80% damage reduction against superclass units. So definitely no superclass units. That might kind of seem like a deal breaker, but there's actually more extreme class units on Time Travelers than there is super class units, so it's not really that big of a deal. But like I mentioned before, if you're missing some of these big time LRs, it can be a little tricky. But it's definitely still possible. I guess we can just get right into it. Now, the first lead I've got right here is Hearts. I know, it's crazy. Heroes units actually being useful. No, I'm just kidding. For you guys who love Heroes units, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, this guy's actually one of the best leads you could bring. He leads Time Travelers for 3 key, 170% to stats, and then the extra 30% is to crossover. So, I mean, yeah, Heroes is actually going to be pretty useful in here, like Heroes units, crossover units, because there are some good int crossover units in here. You've got her, you've got the Toa, you've got the Fu, you've got the, I think this is a King Vegeta, right? With a Dark Mask King, but it's basically King Vegeta. So, you've got this guy who's pretty good. So, there are actually some good Heroes units you could bring on the team that would get a 200% leader skill. So maybe running this guy as a lead and then throwing some other Time Travelers units that are just going to get the 170%, and then throwing the Heroes units on the team that will get the full 200% buff would be a pretty good strategy. So again, Hearts is a really good unit to bring. He's got the guard for the first 5 turns, which is probably going to be the majority of the fight for a lot of these EZA events. He's a good support as well, actually a really good support. 1 key and then 30% to stats for all extreme class allies is really good. And then of course he's got some extra buffs if there's crossover units. So he can be good in this event. He's got the transformation as well. I mean, normally you want to avoid the transformation because he becomes a little bit weaker defensively, but it's an EZA event. It's really not going to hit that hard. So it really doesn't matter if you transform. He's still going to be very good. So that's why I think Hearts is probably the best lead you could bring, but I know a lot of you probably don't have him. He's only been on 1 banner ever, so a lot of people probably missed out on his banner when he released during the Hero Celebration. So don't worry, there are other options for you, but if you do have him, definitely make sure you run him as a lead, because actually now that I'm thinking about it, he is the best lead for Time Travelers. He's the only 170% lead, and all these other units are only 150 or 130, so definitely bring Hearts if you have him. And then next up, we do have the STR Bojack. So this guy unfortunately only leads Time Travelers for 150% to stats. Not really that great, but if you do run him as a lead, he is also giving Space Traveling Warriors 170% to stats. So for some of these other units, you might give them 170% to stats. Like this Bojack right here, he'll get the 170% buff. I guess there's a couple other random units here and there. I'm not going to go look through them all. But yeah, you could give some units the 170% buff, but majority of the units are only getting 150%. So keep that in mind. He is also a support though, so that definitely is pretty good. He supports Space Traveling Warriors for 2 key and then 30% to stats. So he's a solid support, he's a decent lead, and in this event, he's going to be fine. Like I mentioned with Hearts, this event doesn't really hit hard, so then him getting attacking defense on Super, him having, you know, attacking defense here, attacking defense here, attacking defense here, he's got a lot of attacking defense through his links, is definitely very good. So he should be good enough to survive this EZA event. And also, he does have the transformation. Now, he does lose the support when you transform, so I really recommend against transforming with him, but I mean, he still does have it. If you want to do a little bit of extra damage, if you want to just be able to tank more, I mean, I guess the transformation could be pretty useful. But again, he loses the support, so I would recommend just stay in the normal Bojack part of his kit. But overall, pretty good. If you don't have Hearts, he could definitely work as a lead. And then next up, we do have the Intelligence Transforming Goku Black. So of course, there's a lot of talk about this guy getting an EZA during this celebration. So if you want to wait to do this EZA event until this guy gets an EZA and then use him as a lead for this EZA event, that's definitely a viable strat. But if you're anything like me, you don't want to wait. So you could probably just use this guy now. He does lead Time Travelers for 150% to stats. It's not really good, but as we already established, there's not many good leads for this category. So I would say if you strictly want to run a Time Travelers team and you want to use a Time Travelers lead, then using this guy would still be pretty beneficial. Because again, you know, a lot of people probably don't have Hearts. And I would say this guy is probably better than the Bojack, at least for this event specifically, because he's got type advantage and he's building up crit chance, or he's got crit chance when he transforms and all that. So he's a pretty good unit in here. He's got a lot of good links as well, big bad bosses, you know, a lot of like good extreme class links. So he's going to link well with other units, and just a solid unit all around for this event. He's not a good unit in general. Like, he's not going to be doing any damage. It's going to be like 1.6 million attack stats, but because he's got type advantage and because he could crit, you know, the damage can look somewhat impressive. So that's why using him as a lead might work. But again, he's not really that great right now. We're kind of waiting on him to get an EZA. So if you do want to wait for his EZA, this leader skill will go up to 170%. Obviously, he's going to become a lot better in his passive. Even if they give him a couple things here and there, he'll still become really good. They might not make him like busted, but he'll still be very useful because he's a defensive stacker, so his defense is really going to get up there, you know, as the turns go on, because he's greatly stacking defense. So as long as they give him a start turn defensive stat with his EZA, I mean, this guy could be insane. So I would say he's one of the best leads for this event right now, but it's not really that good. I mean, it just is what it is, right? So now moving on to the next choice. Actually, I would say this guy is probably the best lead for this event. I know I mentioned Hearts is the best lead, and technically he is the best Time Traveler's lead, but more people probably have this guy in that mention. And also, I mean, he leads other categories, but most of the units on those other categories are still on Time Travelers. So, of course, I am talking about the new LR Zamasu, a very, very good unit. I'm not going to sit here and go over everything he does. He's just a very insane unit. You probably know he's tied for, like, the best unit in the game right now, or in contention with the best unit in the game. Not like in that top 4 spot. I'm talking about, like, he's neck and neck with LR Bulma. So, a very good unit. His leader skill is Realm of Gods, Worldwide Chaos, and Fuse Fighters. A lot of units on here are on Worldwide Chaos, more specifically a lot of the Goku Black units. Also Realm of Gods, same thing with the Worldwide Chaos. A lot of Goku Black and Zamasu units are on here. And then, of course, he does lead Fuse Fighters. Not really a lot of extreme class Fuse Fighters units on here, but I guess it's still good he has that. And then he does have this right here, which is the main reason why I got him on here. Extreme class plus 3 key and then 150% to stats. So even if they're not on these 3 categories right here, he's got that 150% to stats to extreme class options, which, as we mentioned previously, you're only bringing extreme class units in this EZA event. So yeah, that probably makes him the best lead in here. I mean, because he's just leading everybody for at least 150% to stats, which is already as much as the Bojack and then the Goku Black, like I mentioned. But then this guy is like infinitely better than them. Like I said, he's just crazy. He's in contention for the best unit in the game. He's a good support as well when you go into the domain. He actually does support Worldwide Chaos for 60% defense. So a really good unit all around. There's no real reason why you shouldn't be bringing him even just as a unit on your team. Because if you really want to run like a strict Time Travelers team, I mean, you know, you could use Hearts as the lead because he does lead specifically Time Travelers. But then even with that, you still should throw this guy on the team because, like I said, he's busted, right? And then next up, we do have the LR Bojack. So LR Bojack does link up very well with the STR Bojack, like I was talking about earlier. So if you want to run them as a rotation, I mean, it would be pretty good in this event because this guy does have type advantage. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage in here. He is also a Rainbow Orb Changer if you have him next to a Space Traveling Warriors category ally. So then that's why running him next to the STR Bojack will be pretty good. He can do solid damage. He supports extreme class allies on his super attack, so I guess that's pretty useful. He gets defense on super, and he's got some good extreme class links. That's pretty much all there is to say about him. He's a good unit. He'll do a lot of damage in this event because he's got type advantage, and he's an LR who hits reasonably hard. But other than that, I mean, you know, not much else to say. He's just a good unit to bring. And then next up, we do have the LR Zamasu. So if you are bringing a, I guess, like Goku Black themed team with like the Zamasu as the lead, maybe you want to throw this guy on there because he has type advantage. You could possibly bring like this LR Goku Black right here. Maybe the TEQ Goku Black and Zamasu. Then bringing this guy on there as well is going to be very good because, of course, he does have type advantage. He does hit very hard. And then he links very well with a lot of the other Goku Black and Zamasu units. This guy does kind of like feel he's more directed towards longer events. So for an EZA event, it might not be amazing for him. Like the active skill condition for his like active is that you have to perform 5 supers. So it's going to be kind of difficult to get that in an EZA event, but he's still very good. Even turn 1, he's going to look impressive. He's got the additional keeper keys obtained for the first 5 turns, which you get that with the Potara category ally, which shouldn't be that difficult because we've talked about a lot of good Potara units already that you're probably going to bring. And then also he's got some damage reduction built in. He's got key recovering HP. He's got a nullification, which it is an unarmed super. I don't know what Trunks does, but just keep in mind he does have the unarmed super nullification. So if Trunks does an unarmed super, then he could get that off, potentially take no damage from a super, which would be very useful. He gets some attacking defense on super from his passive. He gets some attacking defense on super from his actual super attack effect. He's got built-in additionals, so a very good unit. But again, if you're bringing a Goku Black team, which looking over all these units now is kind of what I recommend you do, then this guy would be a very good addition to the team. And then next up, we do have the LR Rose Goku Black. Already talked about him a little. But yeah, this guy's going to be very good. Same with the transforming Goku Black. He could potentially EZA during the celebration, but with him having type advantage, with him hitting reasonably hard, there's no real reason not to bring him now, even before his EZA. His damage can be pretty impressive with more ki, and if you're running him next to a lot of these other Goku Black and Zamasu units, he's going to get more ki from them, obviously because a lot of them support, and he's going to link up better with them. He's also recovering some HP. He gets extra attack every time ki raises by 1, so that's why getting ki with him is really important. He gets some defense on super. He's got the rage mode. He's just a good unit all around. I mean, not really a reason not to bring him. So I guess that pretty much has been the video. There are a couple other units I probably could have mentioned, like maybe this Prime Battle Cell. If you want to bring a free-to-play team, maybe Demon King Piccolo will be pretty good. But I would say what you mainly should be doing is just bring a full Goku Black team. Like, if you want to bring the STR Goku Black, the LR one, and then if you want to bring the LR Rose Goku Black, the TEQ Goku Black and Zamasu, you can run the obviously new Zamasu as the lead, and then you can bring the transforming Goku Black just on the team. So there's a lot of good Goku Black and Zamasu units to bring, which is kind of what I recommend you do. But yeah, this really shouldn't be that difficult if you have these Goku Black and Zamasu units, and with the celebration we're currently going on being, you know, like Goku Black arc themed, obviously a lot of you probably have these units. So this should be easy if you've got those units, but if you don't, this could get a little tricky with team building. But keep in mind, it's an EZA event. It's not going to be that difficult. So as long as you have a decent team, you should be fine. It might just take you a little longer to go through the stages compared to having, you know, a full Zamasu team or something like that. So anyway, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what team you're going to bring for this EZA event down in the comments, and let me know which EZA event you are going to do first, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.